say less. I won't just say yes. Need you to do more than say less. I thought you knew that anybody can do that.
There's a crazy story. Imagine this: you have a house that was left to you. Maybe your mom left you a house. So this happened in New York. Adele Andaloro, her family had a house in Flushing, Queens that she inherited when her parents passed away, and she was preparing to sell it. So as she's putting the property together on the market, some people decided to squat there. And they installed a new front door. They changed the locks. Imagine that. So when she came, she couldn't get into the house, her family home. She grew up in this house too, by the way. So this is a house she grew up in. It was her family home in Flushing, Queens. When her parents died, they left it to her. She was getting ready to sell it. And she comes to the house and somebody's in it. So she goes there with her daughter and calls a locksmith. But when she gets there, the people who are there squatting call the police on her. They called the police on her. And the police came and took Miss Andaloro away in handcuffs. Took her away in handcuffs. Why? Because in New York, this, according to the New York state law, squatters are classified as tenants and they receive temporary rights if they occupied the property for 30 days. So Andaloro got arrested for coming to her house that she had a deed for. Police arrived, interviewed the men who could not provide any documentation. One man was taken away in handcuffs as well, but she was also taken away. And this is really crazy that they have rights now that she's got to fight. She's got to fight to keep her property. This is, but then we think about, somebody talk about waterfront property in Gaza. Land is always powerful, which is why we, when Big Mama passes and leaves the thing, y'all don't fight over the land. Everybody get on it, pay the damn taxes, plant some stuff, and keep it in the family, because if it wasn't valuable, people wouldn't be trying to take it. Exhibit A, Josephine Wright. We've talked about her, Hilton Head Island resident. Remember, she was fighting to keep her house. Tyler Perry, I think, participated in giving her some money. Fighting. Kyrie Irving, also Snoop Dogg, donated money. There was a GoFundMe that reached $350,000. This woman had been fighting to keep her house because this Hilton Head area, which I think we might be going back to, we went to Kiowa for a reason, but we might need to hit some other spots in South Carolina for a reason. This woman was fighting to her last breath, and she died 2 months ago. But she was still in a fight with Bailey Point Investment, the construction company that said that she was on their land and was trying to steal her land or take her land. Bailey Point planned a 29-acre neighborhood where her property is. Well, this week they settled, and posthumously, Josephine Wright got her property back. It has been settled. They have that's her Black ancestral land. Her family's buried there. These developers will not get their greedy little hands on it. The company cannot contact the Wright family about purchasing the land, as stipulated as well. And there will be a privacy fence erected between her family land and the new construction. So y'all not even going to encroach. But this is common. And some of us, like Bruce's Beach, some of us give it away, because we don't understand the value. But again, just like the stock market, real estate, they're not making any more of it, which is why all of these billionaires are buying up. I mean, Ted Turner was one of the first, if you really thinking about it, own more land than anybody. Ted Turner back in the day, Atlanta. Then Mark Zuckerberg bought up all that land. Oprah bought up all that land in Hawaii. Bill Gates. Hey, Oprah. Bill Gates bought up a whole bunch of land too. These folk know something. And we just like, I don't want to farm. That reminds me of slavery. Come on. Land is wealth. So I think we should rethink that and codify. This is the other thing I want to say. If you are of a certain age, even if you're over 30, if you're over 40, definitely if you're over 50, you really need to sit and map out your estate. It is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself, because it will give you peace of mind that when you close your eyes, all your wishes will be granted. And making very specific, detailed outlines of what you want to do with all of your money, your stocks, your property, where it goes, who gets to dole it out, who's going to be responsible for it, will, first of all, alleviate all of the fighting that tends to happen when people die. We fight over none of y'all work for this stuff. Big Mama worked for 50 years in that school, and she left behind this much money, and y'all fighting over something that you didn't work for, which means you're probably not going to appreciate it. But if we can do anything, and it's something that I avoided, like Tiffany, I was afraid to do it because I felt like once I put my wishes on paper that I would die. Like I was signing my own death certificate. But it's been a few years now and I'm still here. So, but it was sobering because, going through it with somebody, with my financial coach, and also with the person that, put the estate, the lawyer, it was sobering, because what it also allowed me to do was to make that 100-year plan for myself and for my legacy, right? And get to see into the future what that's going to look like, and who gets to, and if that person's not here, here's where I wanted to go. Like it was liberating once I did it, because now I know no matter what happens to me, all of the work that I put in will not be, and I'm talking about everything from, what's going on with Nubia and narrative. Like, I'm not playing, if we're putting down these bricks, they gotta, stay. They gotta stay for generations and generations. But often we don't want to do that because we're afraid if we do that, then we're going to die. And you don't want to, put that out in the universe. But that's all superstition, Folk who do it, I'm sure Warren Buffett has an estate plan. The man's 99. 98 or whatever he is, like he has an estate plan because it's that important. All of the Rockefellers, there's no Rockefeller Center unless that man had a plan to develop the, what I'm saying? Like we have to plan for a future we will not live in. And I think there's something very empowering about doing that, especially for the group that we're in, where, Larry talks about this a lot, being descendants of enslaved people. We couldn't plan day to day, let alone, look 50, 100 years into the future, but we're not enslaved. So let's do better.
I want you to say yes. Need you to do more and say less. I want you to say yes.